that women are the majority? Women are the majority in many countries. How come that women face more challenges in education, politics, economic improvement, religion, culture, and many more? Empowering Women's Ministry is coming your way to get views from politicians, chiefs, technocrats, educationists, clergy, and many, many more to enable me bring solutions and empowerment to the challenges that are facing women. Join me. I'm Dr. Akosua Appiah-Sumney. The more girls and women are educated, the more it is better for our nations and for the globe. When women and girls are educated, we find more women in leadership. The world is leaning and yearning for more female leadership. When women come into power, there are so many things that they do. They solve female problems. We have female challenges that need to be solved by women. Men are helping us to solve our female problems, but we need women who can also understand women better. When it comes also to relationship, women must learn how to live with their counterparts. Marriage is very good for women who have children because we don't want our children to be astray. When the father and the mother are in the house together, it helps the children. So that is also very important. Our political avenues must be opened for women to take part. There are issues regarding to women that only women can solve. As much as we have men addressing those issues, it will be better that we have more women addressing that issues. Economic development is another thing that is so important in our society. Women cannot continue to be so poor and be burdens and be beggars. When women are educated, they can get their own small jobs, they can form their own businesses, they become entrepreneurial, and from that they are able to create jobs and even hire men and women, and from there they are able to take care of their children. When there is a divorce in the family, poverty strikes immediately. When there is a disaster in the family, it's women and children who suffer the most. And we don't want all these things to happen before the woman looks for shelter or looks for a solution. Women can equally help to develop the globe. So it's very important that we empower them through economic empowerment and education. Building their relationships so that they can have sound mind to help in the building of the globe. Ladies, I want you to watch Empowering Women's Ministry that comes your way. I'm inviting all of you to watch Empowering Women's Ministry every week that talks about economic development, relationship, education. We need to empower our women virtuously. We need to empower our women with good solution, and that is what Empowering Women's Ministry is doing. I'm your host, Dr. Akosua Appiah-Sumney. We are looking at how we can encourage girls and women in science, that is STEM. So my topic is girls can break through in science. I strongly believe that girls can break through in science. And we look at STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. See, in spite of progress in recent decades, fewer females than males still pursue careers in physical sciences, engineering, and computer science. Even though we have made a lot of progress, even though we have more women in school than, let's say, a century ago, a decade ago, 50 years ago, 25 years ago, the number of girls we have in school now, the data is looking encouraging. But when you take that same data and you compare the number or the percentage of female who are in science and technology, engineering, math, and if you take that percentage against the boys or the men, we're still treading behind. So that's why I say that in spite of all the recent decades, fewer females than males still pursue careers in physical sciences, engineering, and computer science. But I want you also to know that when female students opt out of these subjects, when they decide not to do these subjects, they shut the door to a growing job market. And society loses needed mathematicians and scientists. And girls, women, as I'm talking to you today, anytime you say, I don't want to do math, I don't want to do science, there's a whole vast of opportunities that you are missing. I say when you're a young girl out of college, out of university, whether you did your bachelor's, master's, PhD, or you did a diploma, you have already cut yourself off a chunk of the market, or the job market. And so the boys will find those jobs more than the girls. Research shows that there's a big gap in math between boys and girls. And that is true. When we look at the data, only 14% of engineers are women. 14% of engineers are women. And so where is the 86%? That 86% are men. According to Forbes, and they even account for about 27% of all computer science jobs. Females account for 27% of all computer science jobs. And so we can see how many? 73% of all computer science jobs are male. There are female scientists. We know that we do have female scientists. But the percentage is not encouraging. That is why I've taken it upon myself, going from school to school, university to university, college to college, organizations to organizations, female organizations, encouraging females that they can have a breakthrough in science. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let anybody tell you that women cannot be in technology. So when you go to a computer lab, you see mostly men. And if you have about two women, the boys begin to laugh at those girls. In fact, they call them names. They say, these are hardcore girls. No, you can't tell them. You can't say they are hard. Because when boys are in science, you don't say they are hard. When boys are in engineering, you don't say they are hard. So you have to say that they are just scientists or they want to become scientists. When we look at how Timothy's mother encouraged him and taught him, you ask yourself that question: where did Timothy's mother get the ideas and the knowledge to teach Timothy? Or where did Timothy's grandmother get the ideas to teach Timothy? And Paul was excited about Timothy when you look at the book, because he has been well trained not only at home economics or the things of obedience and household things, but also in books. And that is why he wanted him as his assistant. Girls can do very well in science. Girls can do very well in math. In fact, girls can do very well in technology and engineering if we encourage them. What are some of the causes of this problem? this huge problem of girls not indulging in science and technology, engineering, and math, STEM, the whole STEM. When you travel around the world, there's no difference. Wherever you go, you see the same challenges. One country might be better than the other, but in the whole, according to Forbes and other data that is out there, girls around the globe do not pursue science the way it's supposed to be. I wish that I can have, we can just see a school, just science school for girls, where girls are encouraged day in and day out just to learn science, because we need girl scientists. We know that you all can go on the moon. Girls can love physics. It's possible if only we encourage our girls. Some of the causes of the problem are stereotypes from parents. Because, you know, parents can easily discourage their girls and tell them that, or their daughters and tell them, science, technology, and engineering is not possible for girls. They can even tell them, why do you want to go and compete with the boys for low grades? Why can't you just do what you can do better in? But the challenge is girls can have a breakthrough in science. Wherever you are, whether you are in SHS, JHS, a junior secondary school, high school, whether you are in college or in the university pursuing whatever you are pursuing, you can still do better in science as a woman. Women can do science. Women can do very well and do it very, very well. So the parents can stereotype their girls. They may discourage them from STEM. So I urge you parents, before you discourage your girls, take a look at some of the scientists, female scientists, that we have around the world. Take a look and know that there are some things that women only can help women only. And if we have more female scientists, we'll be able to discover a lot of things that are helpful to women in this society. Another thing that is causing the problem is the world has a problem and getting the girls and keeping them in science. Some girls start, but very soon they give up in science. You can see the girls with the boys. You know, one of the questions that I even ask myself is, when school starts and you put children in kindergarten, you see they are all studying the same thing. They just went to school, same age, they started the same topic, the same subjects, and then you find all of them doing science, all of them doing math, all of them doing social studies, all of them involved in technology, and at a certain point you see that the girls are even doing better than the boys. You see the girls are even doing way better than the girls. From kindergarten, from primary to middle school. But along the line somewhere, nobody tells the girls anything. But before you know, you see the numbers are dropping. The numbers are dropping, and by the time you see, the boys have dominated the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math. The boys have dominated. So you can see that the world itself has a problem getting the girls to do science. Nobody told them anything from the beginning. But now you see how they are dropping. And then the world has a difficulty in even keeping the ones that have committed to science and say, I love science, I want to do science. The world has a problem keeping those girls in science. Despite campaigns in various countries to raise awareness in schools and recruit students to technological companies and technological schools, you can still see that the boys are leading, that the girls are majority, are we talking about, that we have more girls than boys. And men go to war, boys go to war, and so you see that the number of men decreases because of war, and so we have more women, and we have more women than men. But still, when it comes to science, the number keeps dropping, and the number keeps dropping, and it's not encouraging. That is why I'm standing here. Every girl that can hear my voice, whether through radio, television, or through the internet, YouTube, I want you to know that I am here for you. I have your back. I'm encouraging you. You can do it, girl. Science is not just for boys. Science is for boys and girls must take advantage of science. If girls don't take advantage of science, a time is coming when we will have only fewer girls and only fewer female in science. We have only fewer girls that are climbing the ladder. How many women want to go on the moon? Yes. Many women want to go on the moon, but we have to involve ourselves in science, physics, chemistry, biology. We have to be very interested. I'm urging you, young people, you have the brain, you have the mind. Young girls, you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because you can do it. Because you can do well in science. Because you can do well in geography. You can do well in social studies. You can do well in all those subjects. They are not hard unless you tell yourself that math is hard. Tradition and myths about girls and science is also discouraging girls from science. There are traditions that how can a girl be a scientist? How can a girl be a mathematician? How can a girl be a zoologist? An engineer. And so these traditions are there. There are questions there that are asked all the time. How come she is not a hairdresser? You know, how come she wants to be a mechanic? Those questions are there. Why does she want to be an engineer? How can she be a pilot? Why does she love geography that much? This is for boys. Piloting is for boys. Even when you go to the hospitals, it used to be that they would say medicine is for boys, so you see more male physicians than female physicians. And so we have the tradition, which is a myth, that discourages girls from pursuing science and having this breakthrough. But if you look at some of the women who have done it, I know that you can also do it. You have the brain. You can do it. You have the brain. You are sharp. You are smart. You can study. There is nothing stopping you. That is why you are young from age 6 all the way to age 20 to 25. Every woman, every girl that is in school, you are sharp. You have the mind. You can do it. Talk to yourself, because the first person that discourages yourself is yourself. The first enemy of discouragement is yourself. When you can tell yourself it's too hard, I can't do it, you get discouraged. Don't follow the traditions and myths about girls and science, math and engineering, because another myth that is out there is math is hard. Have you heard that before? Yes, I have. When I was in training college, I didn't have the opportunity to go to university direct, so I went to teachers training college, and I thank God that at least I went to school, and it has been a very great stepping stone for me. The boys were in math, but you hear them always saying, math is hard. You hear them saying, physics is hard, chemistry is hard. And then few girls, indulge in biology, because they say, oh, as for biology, it's not that hard. And so the girls were in biology, but what about physics and chemistry? And so I remember one day, one of my professors called me, and he said, you are doing very well in chemistry and physics. And he said, you are doing well in math, and I want to encourage you. I remember very well what he told me. He said, I want you to speak to your mind and say, I love math. I look at his face. He said, I want you to keep saying it. I love math. And from that day, I started saying, I love math. I love science. I started talking about this hard subjects that people say it's hard. I love physics. I love chemistry. And I love chemistry. Even when I started university, when I went to my counselor in California, and gave him my transcript and gave him my grades. He looked at my transcript. He said, I want you to pursue chemistry because you are very good in chemistry and in physics. I got the encouragement right then. And then he said, you know, we are looking for a lot of chemists. We are looking for people who can develop medicine, and you fit into that bracket. So I want to encourage you to pursue chemistry. I also want to encourage you to begin to renew your mind. The Bible says that we have to renew our mind. You have to renew your mind daily. One of the things that you can do while renewing your mind, girls and women listening to me from every university or from every college or every high school, I want you to tell yourself, math is not hard. Science is not hard. Engineering is not hard. Technology is not hard. STEM is not hard. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Now I want you to speak that to yourself boldly. Be happy, smiling, be very joyous, and say, I love STEM. I love all these things, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yes, you can do it if you speak to your mind. Don't follow traditions. Don't follow myths. They will not help you. Follow your dream. God has made you equal. You have 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 head. You have the heart, you have the brain, and everything that you put your mind to, girl, you can do it. Everything that you put your mind to, just like you climb trees. Yes, you can. You can do it. So I want to encourage you to do it. All things are possible with God. All things are possible. Can you hear me, girl? Can you hear me telling you that with God, all things are possible? If you believe, all things are possible. You have to encourage yourself. You have to increase your belief, and then you have to take a step, and you'll be able to find yourself solving math problems, solving science problems, technological problems, and becoming the engineer that you want to be. There are gender stereotypes in science, technology, engineering, and math. But don't put yourself in that bracket. Don't put yourself in that gender bracket. Put yourself as a human being. Because you are complete, you're a human being. And you can do it. You know, you can do it if you put your mind to it. Another problem is when parents were asked what kinds of jobs they would like their daughters to do. In fact, their responses were dominated by vocations traditionally seen as female. When they asked father and mother, you have girls, and if we want you to advise them, what would be the kind of jobs you select for them? Some of the fathers said, I want my daughters to be nurses. Some said dressmakers. Some said businesswomen, which is good. All these things are good. But when they mention the kind of jobs they want their female children to do, there was nothing mentioned in science. Some said, I want them to be teachers. It's great to be teachers. I started as one. Some said, I want them to have child care, where they can take care of children. When parents go to work, they can take care of them. Some said health care, hair, and beauty. All these things are good. But is this the only thing that female can indulge in? Why is it that we think females should be limited to a certain type of job? I'm so glad you spent time with me today. I've been in your home, I've been in your kitchen, I've been in your office, and I know that you heard the word that came today. Why do we have to empower women? We empower women, as I have said, because when women's lives are improved, they assist in both domestic and international development. Also, women assist their children better in education, and they don't stay poor and are able to help the family. Empowering women is so essential, and it should not be left for just the woman or women to achieve it. I'm asking all men and stakeholders to actually be very interested in the empowerment of women. I've also declared to you that empowering women should not be something that comes as competition from women or even from men. Empowering women should be something that men and women should approve and just want to do it. You want your children, you want your daughters, you want your mothers, you want your sisters, you want your wives to be empowered. When they are empowered, it lifts a big burden off the society. Because when we look at poverty around the globe, we look around the world and we talk about poverty, we see more women poor than men. And when women become so poor, it affects their children, it affects their families. It affects other individuals around them. It affects the community. So why don't we look at how we can empower women to alleviate poverty? Women need to be helped. Women need to be assisted. But unless we all come together as a family to help them, we cannot achieve the Millennium Goals. Thank you so much for watching me. See you next time, same day, same time in your home. Shalom.
Say